those of you guys that are going to calculus, how many of you guys are going to calculus or hoping to? Okay, about a quarter of you guys. When you guys go into calculus, you guys have to find the difference quotient. And Andrew, you probably recognize this. The difference quotient is actually to find the derivative or the slope of something. And that's one of the first things you're going to do when you go into calculus. So the difference quotient is this. It's defined as that. Now, what is the function? The function is this that they're giving us. So the difference quotient doesn't change. The difference quotient is always that. Now, the thing that changes is the function itself. So if you recall, what is a function? A function is a machine where if you put something in, something gets spit out, right? And whoops, here's the input, and then this thing called the output. And what you put in that machine, you put it, it'll be this, and then it'll be whatever it is, right? Parentheses with the input. So here in this problem, I need to use this, I need to find the difference quotient. So I need to find out what this is. So I'm going to first look at, okay, each part of this difference quotient. I need to find what f of x plus h is, minus f of x is another part, and then all over h. I need to calculate that. Well, let's do it one piece at a time. So one piece at a time is f of x plus h. What is f of x plus h? So first find f of x plus h. We're just doing one piece at a time, okay? So f of x plus h, what is the input for this function?
X plus h?
Right, x plus h. X plus h is the thing that you're putting inside the function. That's what you're feeding the machine, right? So here, my input is going to be x plus h. So when I put f of x plus h in here, right, my function right now is 3x squared minus 5x plus 4. That's what my function is with an x in it. But now wherever I see my x, this is my input. Wherever I see my x, what am I going to put in place of the x? Yep, I'm going to feed it x plus h instead. Everything else stays the same though. The whole shebang this stays the same. So here I get 3. Instead of x, I'm going to put x plus h, and then I'm going to square it, right? Because it's the input being squared, minus 5, and then what?
X plus h.
Great, x plus h, and then plus 4. What am I missing? Parentheses, right? So you have to put parentheses around it because you're saying minus 5 times the input, so minus 5 times this whole input. Right? So this is what happens when you feed the machine some type of a input. You feed the machine, wherever you see your input, you replace it. So now we do our regular mathematics, right? So this is where the beginning half of the semester kicks in, right? Use your algebra skills now to go ahead and expand that. What do I get? Is this x squared plus h squared, by the way? Is x plus h squared equal to that?
No.
No. What am I supposed to do?
Foil.
I'm supposed to FOIL it, right? X plus h squared is x plus h times x plus h, right? Okay? So if I multiply that through, what do I get?
X squared plus h x.
Right, x squared plus
2h.
hx plus hx again plus
H squared.
h squared. Anything that's like that we can combine like terms?
Yes, 2h squared.
Right, this gives me x squared plus 2hx or xh. It doesn't matter the order, hx or xh plus h squared. Right? So again, this is the first half of the semester where we were building up the muscles of just doing these types of things. But now we're actually applying it to bigger questions, right? So I have that, but remember I have a 3 outside, so I need to multiply this whole thing by 3. Okay? So help me out. Multiply this whole thing by 3, what do I get?
3x squared plus 6hx plus 3h squared.
Great. And then here, bring this down, what do I get here?
Negative 5x minus 5h.
Great. And then bring this down, plus 4. Right? are there any like animals that I could combine? Any terms that can be combined?
No.
No, right? These are all different. They're all different animals. You cannot combine them, right? So hopefully you learned that from the first half of the semester, how to combine like terms, how do you multiply, how do you distribute, all that jazz, right? So once we have that, this is going to be my f of x plus h. This is my output, right? So that was simply just this part. So I have this part here. So I'm not going to rewrite this. So this whole part here that we just wrote, that goes to f of x plus h, right? This goes to that. Now, I also have minus f of x. What is the f of x in this problem?
F times x plus h.
F of x is just a function. So try again.
Oh,
What is a function?
3x squared minus 5x plus 4.
Great, the function is given to us, right? So this is just saying, hey, the function is this, just put an x in there. So you just put x back in there and it's just itself, right? So I subtract this. So here's the blue part, right? This is f of x plus h minus 3x squared minus 5x plus 4. And then all over h. What did I do wrong?
You need to put the parentheses around the end first.
Right, great job, Daryl.
Straight
So
the negative sign.
good. So it's minus f of x, right? So it's minus the entire function. You have to put parentheses around it. If you don't put parentheses around it, you're not going to be distributing the minus sign, which is what you need to be doing. So minus the entire function, put parentheses. Great, so if I put parentheses around it, I distribute the minus sign. So if I distribute the minus sign, what do I get?
Minus 3x squared plus 5x minus 4.
Great. So if I distribute the minus sign, I change all the signs inside. Great job with that. Okay, so I have this whole ugly mess. And then let's do cleaning house. What can I cancel out? What terms can I combine?
3x squared and 5x.
3x squared, what else goes away?
5x.
5x goes away. What else goes away?
4.
4 goes away. Great. So out of this huge mess, I end up getting what's left over.
6hx plus 3h squared minus 5h.
Right. All over
H.
h. Is this a simplified fraction?
Yes.
No.
No. What can I factor out on top? What does the top have in common that can be factored out?
H.
Factor out the h. If I factor out the h, what do I get inside?
6x plus
3
H.
minus 5.
Minus 5.
So again, our skill of factoring comes to play as well, right? So if your skills in any of this is kind of weak, please make sure you get help, right? If you're having a hard time knowing how to plug things in, if you're having a hard time knowing how to FOIL, how to distribute through, if you're having a hard time knowing how to combine like terms, or if you're having a hard time factoring, right? All these topics that we hit during the first 8 weeks of the semester, if you're having a hard time with any of that, make sure you get help on those things. Yes?
I thought 6, like HX was a different animal, so you couldn't take H out.
Right, it is an animal. So because they're different animals, you cannot combine them. So you can't add them together. But what you could do is you could always factor something out, right? So you can't combine like animals, I mean you can't add or subtract them, but you could always factor something. Good question. So what cancels out at this point? Now this is a factor, this is a factor, and this is a factor. What factors from the top and the bottom can you cancel out? Right, H just becomes a 1. So therefore, your final end-all answer to this whole shebang, is going to be 6x plus 3h minus, did I do something wrong?
Yeah, you put the H on
Yeah,
the
there should have been an h here.
Yeah,
Right.
it should be negative 5.
Great, good job Tristan, right, it should just be negative 5. Great catch. Just a negative 5 minus 5. And this, my friends, is the beginning of calculus, where you're going to be finding the derivative or the slope of a function.